All the disrespect before you play back, button check. Button check.
What is up, Butt Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day. It is Sunday, the weekend is still here, and we still done made it. Chapters down below, sub button right there, all that good stuff, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got some heavy buttons because this week we got Daigo versus Mena. We got Evo Japan. Well, that's coming this weekend. We got a lot, so it's nothing but buttons that need to be checked. So without further ado, let's get it. Let's go. All right, first up for them, you don't know how much of a fire that you have lit with your lack of faith buttons that need to be checked. Daigo the Beast has spoken. Oh, he released his final words before the match. We got him here, y'all. This was just posted like a few hours ago. By the time I'm recording this, Daigo done spoke out and talking about y'all lack of faith has lit a fire within me. So the FGC is debating heavily right now. We're talking about pros and content creators. Some people saying it's a waste of time. Other people like, I'm disappointed in your point of view. What you talking about, a waste of time? Other people saying he's washed. They're saying, how dare you? People are picking. People are picking sides, and let's check some damn buttons right now. Starting with Javits right here. He says, if you guys think Daigo will get more than 5 games versus Mena, I'd like to know what you're basing this on. Let me know. Down below, has a lot of replies, but he follows it up saying, just to clarify, Daigo is still my favorite player of all time. I know he's not playing to lose. I just don't think he could do it this time for these reasons. And he lists these, saying Mena is better at Street Fighter 6 by far. Mena is also preparing, not just Daigo, and Blanca versus Akuma looks like a Blanca favor, which is interesting because I believe I heard Daigo say one time he thought it was in Akuma's favor, or at least he felt really comfortable with the matchup. But down below, they got respect to Mena. Stats show his consistency, but FT10, it's a tourney format, or I'm sorry, it isn't a tourney format. Daigo historically gets stronger the longer the set goes. That's why I don't think +5 games is crazy. And then he's never ever in all of history lost a first to 10 he's prepped for. That has to count for at least 6 games. Everybody said Tokido was gonna body him. For Kemonomichi also, I think Mena will win, but you never know. But then Danny Pham underneath that says, I think he'll get more than 5 based on the focus goal. I think winning/money is kind of whatever to him now, so motivation in general is low. But I think if there's one thing to bring it out of him, it's this. Mena is kind of equally crazy prep-wise, so he's definitely going to win. Damn, how you feeling about that? He said he's equally crazy prep-wise, so he's probably going to win. Then I see Marn underneath that saying home field advantage, but Javits responds saying Mena won 2 Evos in Daigo's home. He says exhibitions and Evos are different. You're training for one person in an exhibition versus the field for Evo. This one right here stood out to me as well, saying all the data points to Mena winning convincingly. However, the myth of prep time Daigo is too fun not to believe in. He responds saying, best answer, thank you. However, Javits actually takes a second to rethink everything. He's like, oh shit, I think I spoke too soon, because he notices this post, this whole video that Daigo had just posted, the one I was talking about earlier, saying, okay, I need to reevaluate this whole situation. Daigo's mental game is actually fucking crazy. We might all eat our words. And he posted this screenshot right here saying, you guys don't realize how much of a fire you have lit with your lack of faith. Daigo done put his hand on that FGC Bible and looked right into the camera and told everybody, oh ye of little faith. This man is locked in. Other people though, taking it from the perspective right here, like maybe it's more of like a Jake Paul situation right here, saying people just say this, but this feels bar for bar Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. The only difference is Mena is 1,000 times better at Street Fighter or at fighting games than Jake is at boxing. No way Daigo winning 10 games on Mena. How you feeling about that? I even see Ringe adding to this tip as well, saying Mena can give an impassioned speech about how he considers defeating Daigo in the first to 10 one of the greatest accomplishments ever. Daigo literally has been prep time Batman and has defeated people performing significantly better than him several times, and people want to dismiss this and not help build anticipation for it, and instead equate this to some Netflix BS cash grab, like these two aren't the greatest Street Fighter players of all time in a situation where the older player has always shined. Can we help ourselves as a community just a little bit? Others respond like Javits again saying, who you like though? F-Champ says 10-7 Mena. Then Flash adds saying, I would agree with this if he didn't lose to Lupe. Some replies underneath it talking about it's wild to me because I am crazy invested and expected more just to be as excited as I am for it. It's going to be great. And that's what I'm fucking saying. Thank you. So I get what Ringe is trying to say right here. It's like, yo, why are we acting like it's some Netflix bullshit? Like these two aren't the greatest Street Fighter players ever. And the difference is Daigo has a history of actually pulling out big ass W's from his ass. That sounds horrible. You know what I'm trying to say, and now that gave me a weird mental picture. What the hell I'm trying to say is, listen, it's not like it's unlikely, you know, and it's not like Daigo's still not playing. Mike Tyson hasn't boxed in forever, you know what I'm saying? God bless Mike Tyson, but the dude hasn't boxed in forever. He was out of shape. He had to do a lot just to get ready for this fight. He was walking around backstage with his ass hanging out before the fight. It's a lot. And Jake Paul's in his prime. You already know. I don't have to explain this point of view. Daigo's different. Yes, Daigo is not in his prime, but he's constantly still playing the damn game. But it gets even deeper right now because Jayuna adds to this saying Daigo literally inspired countless people and led the FGC to where we are today. Okay, so that's nice, right? He's saying, let me give the man his props because he's the GOAT. But he adds this saying his 30-year plus legacy being concluded by getting embarrassed 10-3 on a stage in a game he's never performed well at to a player he has no connection to, does nothing for the community. This match never should have happened, but the moment Mena called him out in front of 10,000 plus people, he couldn't say no. Damn, that's heavy, ain't it? Ringe responds back to that saying, I'm very sad to see you automatically assume the way it'll play out. And the assumption being it will do nothing for the community is also disheartening to hear from you. That has about 256 likes. Underneath it saying, to be honest though, this is the way of every combat sport. Chuck Liddell, BJ Penn, oh, that's actually kind of a good point, I guess. Still some of the GOATs. In my mind, even if Daigo goes 13-0, it does nothing to diminish the legacy that he built for himself. And why are you crying for Daigo when Daigo isn't crying for himself? Daigo doesn't believe he is a washed has-been or he wouldn't be flying all over the world competing. He puts himself on Street Fighter League every week, not to embarrass himself. He believes he is a competitor and this is unfair. Then you got even other point of views talking about it feels like Mena's trying to farm with this one, saying thank you, this match is an embarrassment. It feels like farming the old man for legacy. Yes, you will do what nobody has ever done, beating him in the first of 10, but this is classless. He is not good in the game anyway. Let the legend retire in peace. Damn, there's a lot. We're not even done yet, but there's a lot. I completely get where Jain was coming from, but I also get where Ringe is coming from. And to be honest with you, I'm agreeing more with what Ringe is saying because he's like, this is not one of those Netflix situations. Why can't we help ourselves a little bit and just be hyped for the moment rather than automatically counting at Daigo and being like, it's not gonna be worth anything? Why don't we help ourselves a little bit and just enjoy some hype? Rufamonger adds to this as well, saying for the whole Daigo versus Mena thing, what your kids don't realize is even if Daigo loses, Daigo still wins. Why? Cause he's Daigo. However, yes, you guessed it, we go even deeper because Tokido is weighing in. Got some interesting stuff. I'll put the video for the whole video of his is like over 15 minutes long. We're literally only gonna watch like 2 minutes. He's talking about Daigo right here. Check out the clip. The reason why somebody just laughed, because Tokido just said, I hope Mena is not upset at me for this. This man just said 10-5 Daigo. 10, he said, I hope Mena is not mad, but I think it's gonna be 10-5 Daigo. Damn. He said not 10-3.
ただその今までのそのなんていうか実績を考えると、メナが勝つのは結構難しいんじゃないかな。
He said, looking back at the track record, I think it's going to be hard for Mena to win.
まあでもなんつうのその CPT っていうさ、その、言ってしまえばありがたいことにカプコンさんがああいうのを組んでくれて。
He said something about the CPT is like we're lucky Capcom put together a system like that.
でそれで勝ったらさ
And if
お金
you
ももらえて
win,
だってプロに
if
も
you
な
win,
れ
you
て
get money, go
ご飯
pro.
も食べれるってい
You
う
can make a living.
ので僕なんかはもううわそれ最高でしょ全部行きますよって
はい
なん
He
な
said,
ら
for me, it's amazing. I want all of it. Even after winning CC, I'm still going overseas.
もうカップルカップル取ってるのに海外行きますみたいなな人間とは
異常ですけど
もう全然違う人だ
He said, I'm that kind of person. But it's just on a completely different level.
なるほど
自分が
He said, Daigo is on a completely different level. Everything he's built and done up to now,
今までずっとやってきたってことっていうのはこういうことなんだよ
なるほど
っていうも
he's
の
going to show us what that means. Here's the cherry on the cake, baby. So Team Rejects just released this video 18 hours ago by the time I'm recording now. Check it out. We're going to skip around. This is over 8 minutes long. We're just going to get like a couple minutes once again. Let's go.
でその好きなものでさ俺のが強いと思うからやろうぜって言われてさやめときますってそんなやついるかよやるだろそこまで人生捨ててやってることでさ
Right here. This is what I was talking about. He was like, if somebody comes up to me and says, I'm better than you, than the thing you love, why would I pass on it? He was like, of course I'm going to do it. Then right here he says, if you run away from a challenge from the thing you've sacrificed your whole life for, you're no longer human. What? Come on and preach, Daigo. If you if you run away from the challenge that you sacrificed your whole life for, then you're no longer human. Damn it, preach.
勝負挑まれて逃げたらそれも人間じゃねえよだから俺はそういう時代のプレイヤーだからさなんでその
He said, I'm a product of that era. I can't help but wonder, have we lost sight of those origins? It's just a game. That's what I was talking about.
たかがゲームでねなんかその原点忘れちゃってんのかなってやっても意味ないことで、まあ、好きでやって上手くなってある程度立場築いてやんなくなるってなんかちょっと悲しいよねたかがゲームだったのに、勝手に環境に踊らされて自分の中で
He said, once again, it's just a game. He was like, what? There's no really like weight to it. Like we're building all this just to disappear. Like what are we really protecting? It's a game. We're supposed to have fun in it, but I think we've got caught up in the environment. And right here, he says, the next thing you know, it turns into something you feel like you have to protect. So once again, saying like, I feel like people are starting to look at this different. Why not run the set? Why should I be afraid to run this set? This is what the whole meaning of this is. Come on, let's get deeper.
飲んなきゃいけないものになってまあ正直窮屈じゃんつまんないじゃん
He said, frankly, it's suffocating.
せっかくゲームって
Games
楽しい
should be
ことなの
fun.
にあそういう言い方が下手くそだなと思っちゃうよねゲーム
It makes people like feel like. Okay, let's skip that part.
勝負の世界っていつも今なんだよね昔話には出てくるかもしれないけど今思ってだからっていうなんかこう保険みたいなるまでのがあるよっていうだからそれって終わりだなっていうなんかこれの立場を、それは絶対そうで勝負の結果で気づいたんだよねこの立場を、それは絶対そうでと思うんだよねなんかこれまで自分がやっぱなんだかんだで勝負の結果で気づいたんだよねこの立場を、それは絶対そうでそれが勝負の結果で奪われたとしてもそれ何も言えないよねって、勝つことで得たものを負けることで失うのは当たり前だから、負けたらどうなっちゃうか分かんないっていうこのリスクがやっぱりすごく生きてる感じがしてどうなっちゃうか負けたらどうなっちゃうか分かんない
Right here, he says, the risk of not knowing what might happen if I lose is really making me feel alive. That's what people are talking about. It's like in these tournaments, it's so. It doesn't really motivate him, but something like this is almost like it's in his damn DNA. This is what he lives for. So that's why a lot of people are making the argument like, you don't understand, like he's gonna do a different focus, a different determination. He don't gotta now battle and study all these matchups and all these different players and hope he's just on that particular day. Nah, just one man, one character.
死ぬのが一番怖いから道中楽しむの
Oh my God, he's getting deep on this, y'all. I'm sorry. We're watching a little more than I thought, but I'm actually seeing some of this for the first time. He said, no matter how safely you live your life, we're all still gonna die. So basically, you might as well enjoy the damn ride. Come on. He's going to win.
マジで勝て
Please win.
1ミリも
I don't doubt for a second that he'll win.
勝ってるとこまだ見て
I really want him to see get this win.
頑張ってください。
Yes, like right here in this screenshot, he says, so with all this pessimism that surrounds me, as has actually been an incredible source of energy. And then right here, it's like, man, they're really setting me up for success here. And then right here, this is where he said, you guys don't realize how much of a fire you have lit with your lack of faith. If we continue a little bit.
相当燃えちゃうよっていうのは思ってるよね。
Oh, they put Evo's Legends right after that. Come on, man.
不思議な性格なんだけど、周りが
I'm an odd person in that way. The more people think I don't win, the more I think, wait, I think I will win.
不思議と。
It's a strange thing.
これまでは全部それが現実になってるから。
And up to now, that's always come to fruition. So, oh shit. Well, and then it ends.
同じことが。
Hold on. He says, and up to now, that has always come to fruition. And they basically ended saying, so I guess if I feel this way, it's probably going to happen again. Oh my God, come on, Daigo. This man is preaching over here. Oh, ye of some little faith. It's always come to fruition. Y'all is hating me, but guess what? I feed off the hate. I live in the darkness, baby. And if I feel this way, probably going to happen again. Oh my God. And other people talking about the whole Daigo preparation thing is a myth, but it's fun to believe in. You got Ringe talking about why can't we just be happy for the hype? Like, why do we got to talk all this shit? Other people like Jayuna saying it never should have happened. He doesn't need to mess up his legacy like this. This is kind of bullshit. Other people talking about it's farming. And then, you know, like Ringe clapping back, basically saying like, nah, like if he loses, kind of like what Roofamonger said, if he loses, he's still Daigo. It doesn't really hurt his legacy because he's still Daigo at the end of the day. I do believe that Mena has all the momentum, but then again, all the other players had the momentum when they faced Daigo as well. It's a different game though, and it's a much older Daigo. A lot of people believe he's not as good as this version as the other one, so that also is a lot of doubt as well. But Daigo is going on record saying, I eat this. I love this. So I'm expecting that I could possibly win again. And if he does, holy crap, this will be bigger than whoever wins Evo Japan. I really think it will. This will be so huge if Daigo could just like, what's my name? You know what I'm saying? Like, do it again? Mega, massive. The man's gonna be, he's already a legend, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. This is gonna live forever. I read one comment that I failed to read, and they say this is a cop-out. Because they said, if Daigo loses, people are gonna say, it's because he was old. It's because this is not really his game. But if he wins, they're gonna say, he's the best ever, he's the GOAT, and all this other stuff. So it's kind of like, win or lose, he kind of still wins. And honestly, I could see that I could see that point of view as well, but that's with anything though. I honestly think it is. Like when you watch fighting, like a lot of people, like there's so many times I'm watching fighting and people say who you got. And I'll instantly say, instead of just saying who I got, it's something we all do. I say, well, I got such and such, but, you know, because something inside you just wants to be safe for some reason. I don't think he's gonna win. I think he's just gonna come up short. So what's his name's gonna win? But I really want him to win. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going on record just to let you know how I really feel, just because I want to cover my bases. For some reason, we do that shit, and I don't know why. We always do that. Well, I want such and such, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always do that. Rather than just be like, here are all my chips. I don't give a damn. My boy's gonna win. Because honestly, I was just about to do the same thing with the pick I'm going to give y'all. I talked to Dirty Low earlier. He's believing that Daigo's going to win. He wants Daigo to win. Like I said, I like both of these guys. I don't think it diminishes his legacy if he loses, even if he doesn't win one game. I really don't. But if I have to pick one without being on the safe side or like teetered 1 foot here, 1 foot here, no, just pick one. I'm going to pick Daigo. If I'm going all chips in, no, I want him to win, but he's probably going to win. No. I'm going all chips in. I say Daigo wins. And when I say the final score, I say 10-8. I say 10-8 Daigo. It's going to be a hell of a battle. And that's me, all chips in. But how y'all feeling? Let me know. There it is one more time, Butt Check family. Appreciate the massive love. I told y'all this was going to be a hot one. Matter of fact, there were supposed to be multiple stories for this damn episode. But this damn camera says 51 minutes on it, so that's not gonna happen. So either way, I gotta do some chopping and editing and all this good stuff. This was a whopper. Ooh, this is coming up too. Come on, man. So either way, man, I'll see you soon. Thank you guys for the massive love. And as always, I don't know what it is, but it'll somehow, some way, it's about to get better. Love y'all forever. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
Listen to everybody. Nobody believes in you. What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let no one come into your house, take your meal, do what you need to do today. I'm not nervous. I'm just telling you.